What's up, guys? How's it going? So, lately I had been talking about, kind of how I've been making some extra side cash during this pandemic. And one of the biggest ways I've been doing it, besides some weird odd and end jobs that I kind of tried to create, didn't really work out. But one of the ways that has worked out for me is the car flipping business. And so I figured what I do today, and this is obviously different than what my normal content of this channel is, but we'll give it a try. I figured I would kind of guide you guys on how I go through the car buying, flipping process. So let's go ahead and get into it. So, essentially, the hardest part, well, one of the hardest parts of the car flipping is actually finding a vehicle that's worth flipping. And to do this, I use a couple of different sources. So I've done two cars so far. I've done a 1999 Buick Regal GS, and then I have a 2000 Acura RL right now. Now I found the Buick on Craigslist, and I found the Acura on what's it called? I found the Acura on Facebook Marketplace. But when you guys are looking for a car, there's a couple of things that you want to be mindful of. So, for the sake of this, I'm just gonna stick to using Facebook, right? So I usually like to spend no more than $1,000, right? So 200 just to kind of weed out all the weird stuff, and $1,000 is what my max likes to be, right? And go ahead and hit search. Typically from there, I kind of like to have the most expensive stuff first and the cheapest stuff last. You guys can kind of rearrange this as you please, but however kind of works for you. Then from there, you kind of start seeing what your options are. So if you see a car that's for sale for $1,000 and it needs repairs, and once repaired only be like 1.2K, that's not really a car worth investing in, right? So let's see, we have this Buick right here. All right, for sale for $1,000. Pretty sure this car can typically go for like 2.3 thousand dollars. Posted 28 days ago. So if I was looking to buy this vehicle, that would definitely be something that I'd be looking into, right? Now, sorry guys, if we go back, all right, click on here, and the descriptions for me are really important because it kind of tells you what's coming up. I personally like to stick to cars I know how to work on, and these 3800 engines I'm pretty good with, so I can usually figure out what's going on with them. So this car right here, we have 2001 Buick Park Avenue, 3.8 liter V6, comes with a new water pump and thermostat. So I'm thinking, well, is that actually installed, or is the part just there and it overheats? 151,000 miles. All right, that's pretty low for this car. Heated seats with temp control, clean title access. That's good. All fluids replaced, all that. Asking $1,000. So I'd be thinking, well, why are they only asking $1,000 for this car, right? Like, what's wrong with it? So radiators flush change, oil, car starting to overheat. All right, that's what we're looking for, right? Comes with the new water pump and thermostat, not installed, $8 value. Check out the one account, all that jazz. Car to check up, everything runs fine. Oil light, we'll keep going on off on the dash. No AC, cause car to overheat. So overheating can be a gold mine, or it can cost you a lot of money, because on these cars specifically, water pumps are easy to replace. Sometimes lower intake manifold goes on these things. Those are all easy to replace. My concern is that if a car has overheated, has that damage to the head gasket, has that damage to any other internal components of the engine, is the structural integrity of the car still good, or the structural mechanical integrity of the engine still good, right? And also you can kind of read and figure out how much knowledge these people have on their vehicles, right? So they said no AC causes car to overheat. Well, we all know that not having an air conditioning doesn't necessarily relate to your car overheating. If you don't have heating, right? If the heater doesn't work in your car, that could be a sign there's a problem in your cooling system. But not having cold air coming out of your vents, that's not really related. So when you're looking at cars, like, kind of look and find things that you're comfortable with, right? Mechanical specials are good ones. What's wrong with this car? It has transmission issues, right? So would you be willing to get in here and replace the transmission? If you did, would it be worth it? Not to mention these North Star V8 engines. These things are known for having bad head gaskets and overheating, so you got to remember that, right? So once you find the vehicle that you guys are interested in, go ahead and just make an offer on it. Say, hey, you know what? Let me come out and see this vehicle. And typically, from my experience, I usually shoot out a general range that I'd be willing to pay for this car before I even see it, just to see if the person's even willing to go that low. Um, and I'd recommend shoot for what you're willing to pay for it. If they don't like it, they'll come back to you with a counter offer, right? Here's another interesting one too, right? Car runs good, needs AC, unit evacuator change, good working vehicle, right? 1996 Thunderbird. So this could be something you can consider. So once you figure out the mechanical problems of a car, or as many as you can based on the pictures, I like to go to kellybluebook.com, right? So kbb.com, and we just put in. I got an ad block on. Sorry, guys. Let's pause this and refresh the site. So I like to go into Kelly Blue Book and get an idea of how much this vehicle can actually go for, right? So let's say we wanted to buy this 1996 Ford Thunderbird, right? And I said, okay, well, how much can it go for if I decide to sell it? So we go here, Ford, there we go. Ford Thunderbird, here we are. I believe that has a zip code. Did it say how many miles it had? It didn't. I don't know. We'll assume, I don't know, 160,000 miles. Okay. And we'll just price it out with standard options. And the color of the car is, I don't know, was that a pinkish, maybe a beige type of color? We're gonna say it's pink. Now the car right now, it's probably not in that good of condition. So, but we're pricing to sell it at a good condition, right? So I usually do good or very good. So we just go ahead and hit good and see what it gives us for the price, right? So waiting for it to load, analyzing numbers, results, and all that. And we go over to private party, and it gives us an estimate of how good or what we could expect to get for the car, right? And it also it's nice too because it gives us a level of effort that it's going to take to sell this vehicle. It says it's going to take about 30 days, maybe longer, and it's going to require a high amount of effort to sell this car, right? So that's good to know. Don't let that scare you away. Every car that I've tried to do, it's pretty much giving me a high amount of effort. And then you can also play that, hey, if we can get this back into excellent condition or very good condition, we can get almost $2,000 for this car. So I think to myself, all right, this car is going to cost me $150, and if I can get it into very good condition, we can start selling it between, I would say, reasonable price would be 1.5 to 1.9K, right? So at basically $1,000 to buy it, when you can start considering tax, title, registration, it only gives me about $500 to play with, right? To actually get it, into a running condition, and then that only gives me a few $100s of profit, right? So from here, I could either meet with this person and try to get a lower price on this car, or I could just find a different car that meets more into my profit margins. Typically, I like a car that gives me anywhere between $1,000, at least between $700 and $1,000 in profit, right? So part one, to keep it short, find the vehicle you want, find the issues it has, look up its Kelly Blue Book price, and see how much you can sell it for when it's fixed. If you like the vehicle and you want to make a move on it, meet up with them and get the price down to a range that's going to allow you to make a profit off of it, right? And once you get the vehicle, we move into part two. I'll catch you guys in the next video.